Oh, yes. This is the guy right here. Whenever you want to see some good commenting on politics, the one, the only Bakari Sellers representing for South Carolina. He is on the line. Good morning, man.
Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing after whatever that was last night?
Stressed out, man. Like, every time I clicked it on, it just stressed me out. It was just so much happening, and it was a lot to process, and I was just wishing, somebody could have stepped in and created some level of order.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I have never, ever in my life felt bad for a Fox News host until last night. I mean, I literally felt bad for Chris Wallace last night. It's a difficult job. I mean, last night I wanted Joe Biden to make clear points on coronavirus, clear points on criminal justice, and clear points on the economy, but it was just nearly impossible. Donald Trump last night was the equivalent of a racist toddler. Somebody running around with, an 18-month-old running around with matches and a Confederate flag T-shirt. It was beneath the office of the presidency, but it showed us the urgency we have because still 35% of the American public are going to support that. So people got to vote. They created plans to vote today.
Yeah, I was going to ask Bakari, you got more than 1 million Americans who've already cast their ballots in the presidential election. And even after this, a lot of people say, well, Joe Biden looked better than President Trump. But, people don't seem to be swayed one way or another. And then we've got Kamala Harris and Mike Pence. They're going to be up next a week from now. What do you feel like moving forward? Should we keep these debates going, or do you feel like it's kind of like embarrassing everybody? It seems embarrassing globally at this point.
Well, I mean, that's a legitimate question, and that's a question that Joe Biden's going to have to answer. Do you subject yourself to this for 2 more debates? I mean, he literally couldn't. Joe Biden was so frustrated last night. He called the man a racist to his face. He called him a clown. He said, well, you just shut up, man. And you know what? The American public all agreed with every single sentiment that Joe Biden stated. Debates are usually good for the small slither of the American public who are undecided or need reaffirmation. You can dig deeper and learn more about people's policies and positions. But if they're going to be like this, no. But I will tell you, next week, though, you're actually going to get a debate. I don't agree with Mike Pence on too much of anything, but he does. He's going to have to defend Donald Trump's record, which is going to be tough. But he does have that kind of traditional institutional statesmanship. And Kamala Harris, she's extremely gifted. So at least you'll be able to see what a debate used to look like.
All right, now for those who just joined us, we're talking to Bakari Sellers. Now, being that the right wing likes to throw the T word around a lot, let's talk about this terrorist group known as the Proud Boys. Why do you feel, in your personal opinion, Donald Trump would not outright denounce them as opposed to telling them to, stand back and stand by?
Yeah, so I was actually in studio back in 2016 going on State of the Union with Jake Tapper when the president refused to denounce David Duke and the KKK. He said, I don't know who that is. Everybody knows who David Duke is. He was playing footsie with the Confederacy, right? So this isn't anything new. He refuses to alienate his base. And to Republicans, right? I get a lot of grief when I post stuff on Twitter, but we all know people who are voting for Donald Trump. We all know MAGAs, whether or not we work with them or we hang out with them. And I say that not all Donald Trump supporters are racist by any stretch, but they have to be okay with racism, and they have to be okay with somebody who uses racism as political currency. The Proud Boys are a dangerous group of punks who traverse the country and are built on the back of being violent. I mean, that is just who they are. They threaten and they're violent and they're white supremacists. And for the president the president of the United States, the commander in chief, for whatever you may think about Donald Trump, he still holds the office of president. For him not to denounce that just tells you where we are in this country. I mean, last night was the epitome of a dumpster fire. If you've never seen a dumpster fire, rewind last night.
Oh, man. Hey, Bakari Sellers, we appreciate you so much for checking in with us, giving us the time. Let everybody know. I noticed you got a dope little podcast over here, the Bakari Sellers podcast. So let everybody know how we can watch you, how we can follow you.
If you want to catch up on our commentary last night, I actually did a live post show. I'm gonna do another one next week. But it's the Bakari Sellers podcast. Last night I actually had Angela Rye and Andrew Gillum on. Shout out to my brother Andrew, my sister Angela. And look, I'm on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. And follow my twins' Twitter account, man, if you need some brightness in your day, man, the Sellers twins. I love y'all. Thank y'all for educating the listeners, and thank y'all for all that you do.
We are the Morning Hustle.